the all-new Cordobes Jodhpur boot. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Dale of Dale's Leatherworks. In today's video, I'm extremely excited to be talking about these new pair of Jodper boots by my friends at Cordobes Boots, made in Mexico. So, full disclosure, these were actually sent to me to review, but I have reviewed some of their other boots and they like the work that I do, and I'm always happy to support them in any way that I can. Other boots that I have from Cordobes are these amazing engineer boots, as well as these here service boots right here. Absolutely love these things. So one thing that I really appreciate about this brand is the aesthetics of their boots are very much an old world feel. I feel like these boots could have been made for hundreds of years. Just given the look and the finishing on them, they look like they could have been made by cobblers all throughout time. I'm thinking medieval times. This is a type of look that you would see without the use of like super modern equipment. I could tell that they're putting a lot of this stuff together. There's a lot of handwork going on here. So I really appreciate that. If I ever get around to making my own pair of boots, I envision that it would look something like this, assembled using very rudimentary tools. Another thing I really appreciate about these boots is the panels do appear to be hand cut, probably with a knife, similar to like what Gabard's doing. So in other words, they're not using like a laser machine to cut the panels or a die punching these panels out. Instead, I believe the artisans are cutting the panels by hand. So they're drawing on the leather and then hand cutting those pieces. It leads to slight imperfections throughout the boot, but it's something from a handmade perspective I really appreciate. I love seeing that. When I work with leather, my insoles are all stamped out with a die. My kilties are all stamped out with dies. When I'm making like a leather backpack or something like that, it's all hand cut. So I always appreciate seeing the hand cut work. So this is the Cordobes Jodhpur boot. It retails at $379. This is Cordobes' take on the classic Jodhpur boots. They're elegant and sleek. They have an adjustable leather strap, solid brass nickel hardware, 8-inch shaft lined with calfskin. We've got a veg tan midsole, a steel shank. These are going to be double row stitch down construction. We've got a plain toe. If you wanted to customize these and add a cap toe, you could. We've got natural edge finish, unstructured toe. So these are built on the D95 last. The D95 last is designed for a dressier look, which in my opinion is very appropriate for the Jodper look. It's got an almond shaped toe, a low profile silhouette. Due to its shape, the toe box may extend beyond your toes for a sleek appearance. So I always love a good Jodper boot. It's not my everyday style, but when I saw Cordobase was running these, I was like, wow, these are very nice, very well designed. And I always opt for a leather outsole. I find that the flex and the sort of organic natural wear that they provide is unmatched. It's just something that, you know, I love rubber, I love the durability of rubber, but when I can opt for a leather outsole, I always do. I love just walking on leather. It provides the most support. However, the heel cap is absolutely rubber. Yeah, having a rubber heel cap I feel is appropriate because that area of the boot does tend to wear down depending on your strike and your stride. But when I could do a leather outsole, I always do, just because that firm, dense support, that the flex, as well as the moisture wicking properties that it provides, it's just something that rubber can never accomplish. So I don't know where this leather is sourced from, but it's very nice. If I had to guess, I would probably guess it would be from a Mexican tannery, most likely Lafarque, as my buddy Nick from Stridewise would say, Lafarque, which is not appropriate to say on a family-friendly channel. Yeah, the double row stitch down construction is absolutely flawless and amazing looking. I opted for white stitching for that just because I wanted a good contrast against the black leather. 180 degree double row stitch down construction, and it's 180 degree on the back single row construction. The hardware is like an antique brass looking buckle, and in my opinion it looks very appropriate against the black. I think it looks really sharp. Yeah, lined on the inside we have a nice little pull tab back here, help you get in and out. One of the strongest features of this boot that I noticed early on was the strap. This strap here, the Jodper, the infamous Jodper strap system. The straps are really hardy. As you can see on the outside, they are the same matching black leather as the upper. On the reverse side, they are calfskin lined to match the interior. And the strap is 7.5 ounces in total. I mean, it is stitched all along the perimeter. The strap isn't going to stretch out on you over time. There's really cool rolling marks from the stitch machine, which gives it a really cool look actually. And then the back strap, same thing. And oh cool, they actually closed off the buckle. Normally I put like a rivet here, but they closed it off with a boot eyelet, which is really cool. I've never seen anybody do that before, but that is really awesome. I love the way that a Jodper sort of comes together. I love that there's like the front piece and the back piece. It's very sort of simple, but brilliant at the same time. So the front piece, as you can see, pull it down. It's all this. It's the instep flap, the vamp, all one piece of leather, and then stitched to that is going to be the straps, the enclosure straps. And then the back heel stay is simply a separate piece with the back heel strip running up the back. Yeah, you just close it up and it just grips the foot beautifully. Another thing that I really love about the Jodper design in particular is the fact that you can adjust it to fit your comfort levels right here at the ankle. So these are built in San Mateo, Atenco, Mexico. They were born out of passion. They make sure that every product has a personal attachment to each customer. They believe that each pair of boots is a piece of art. Yes, and all of the Cordobase materials are sourced ecologically. All of the leather is ethically sourced from local tanneries. Cordobase was born in a little workshop in a town called San Mateo Atenco in the outskirts of Mexico City. They noticed that due to a lack of economic viability, most of the work done by artisans in San Mateo was underappreciated and their skill was undervalued as well. San Mateo Atenco is home to highly skilled artisans that have the ability to produce great footwear. However, with increasing competitions and families to provide for, most artisans were driven to lower their prices and lower their quality as well. Cordobase is committed to appreciating the artisan's skills and the production value of the materials made in San Mateo Atenco and making high quality products with the high skill that our artisans offer. Cordobase creates a unique and high quality product honoring the artisans and families of San Mateo Atenco. As far as sizing goes, I've covered this in my previous Cordobase boot videos. Sizing is pretty simple. I go true to size with South American brands generally. Made in Mexico, the sizing I find runs consistent with Spanish heritage shoemaking, which is, in my experience, always been roughly true to size. I believe what I ordered were size 42s. Now, I'm a 9 Brannock. I wear an 8.5 in most US boot brands. I believe that these are their size 9s, and it's a perfect fit. Whenever I see the trifecta, I see UK 8, Brannock 9, EU 42, US 8.5. Whenever I see those sizes lined up, I know that my size is going to be right. Once again, true to size is what I opt for. I'm a 9 Brannock. I'm an 8.5 in most US boot brands. Truman, Red Wing, 8.5. These in a size 42 are a perfect fit. I'm just blown away by truly the aesthetics of these boots. They're so cool. They're so sort of simple, rustic, old world. They have a really old-fashioned feel about them. A very traditional, venerable, Arcadian sort of a feel. And I always appreciate the unique products that Mexican craftsmen produce in particular. And the look of a black Jodper in particular, I think, is just super iconic. You could wear these with anything, denim, chinos, khakis. Just pair it with a black belt and you're good to go. Black isn't my day-to-day color, but when considering a Jodper in particular, I think every guy needs a black Chelsea, every guy needs a black Jodper. I think it's just a staple to any good boot collection. Huge thanks to Cordobase for making this video possible. Huge thanks to my buddy Alfonso over there at Cordobase. He's a super nice guy. I always enjoy talking to him, and maybe one day I'll get him on for a real boot talk. Who knows? The sky's the limit. I want to hear your thoughts about these Cordobase boots down there in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. End of transmission.